Hello, my name is NicholassRivas. I talk about politics, and today we're going to be talking about a Tucson police officer basically getting away with murder. In recent news, a judge dismissed manslaughter charges against former police officer Ryan Remington. Ryan Remington is known for killing a disabled man in a wheelchair, uh, shooting him, I think, 7, 8 times in the back. The victim was said to have had a knife, but many critics, and rightfully so, say he was no danger to anybody. He might have been running in a store, but I say running with quotes. He was wheelchairing in. He was on a motorized wheelchair, obviously disabled. Now this could be a ruse, but given that he didn't seem to hop his chair off when you guys were bombarding him beforehand, seems a little odd. Now, many people agree that the death was just unjustified because 7 to the back while he's basically just wheelchairing away, like, doesn't sit right with me. And it didn't sit right with many. Even the people that I follow who seem to be more defensive of cops agree that this was a little excessive. um, Ryan just shot this man multiple times, and the guy was running, I think, into, I keep saying running, he was going wheeling into a Lowe's store. um I get that's kind of probably standard procedure. A man runs in with a knife to a store and then you shoot him, but you think they would have some sort of, I don't know, thought process when there's a guy in a wheelchair. It feels odd. And so the judge dismissed his manslaughter charge, and he basically walks off free. I mean, he is successful. Even the most egregious cases have some like contentions. Like, I remember when George Floyd was killed, even Trump came out and said, "Wow, that was terrible." Like, right, like this guy who's been a big defender of police, he was not defending this because it just seems like one of those where it's like, yeah, that's a little excessive. And so I thought this is going to be one of those cases where it was just a little bit excessive, and the judges would see that and maybe make some sort of point. I don't know. It didn't seem like they could fail here. Now there is a personal suit made by the family of the victim, so he's not out of the hot water completely. But he's not going to be a criminal. He's going to probably have to pay a fine or a settlement outside of court of sorts. Like, I doubt there's going to be any sort of law for this man, given that this went to the grand jury and they still shot it down. They still didn't find it enough to justify this man killing. It's odd. It's so odd. I mean, I know every police situation is different, and I have my many criticisms of the police in the United States. When you look at police in the UK, Australia, they handle someone with a knife very differently. Like, there's all these police deaths in the US, very little to none in other countries, and you think, well, what are they doing right? Well, and I think police training is different, but the mindset as a whole is different. You have police officers in the United States being told that anybody can have a gun, so treat them like that. And so the thought is, and set by the court, this is not just me making shit up, the court said that police officers don't have a right or duty to protect you. They're there to basically go home to their family. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought this would kind of set a standard, but even in the most egregious cases, no. Like, I would get, like, in any other situations, like the George Floyd, people, had their doubts and people were questioning, but even that case was, like, so slam dunk for many that they said, yeah, that was a little excessive. There's still people defending it, but I think the majority of people went like, no, it was just a little weird. The Uvalde shooting, I don't know anybody defending those cops, right? But will they see any justice? I don't think so. And I think that's the precedent that we set. We basically told the people like Ryan Remington that, hey, what you did was fine. All the other cops, they may lose their job, which is devastating to them, I'm sure, but they're not going to jail. We said it that now these people are above the law. If I shot a wheelchair man from the back, I'm going to jail. I thought they would have some sort of standard. Maybe not one for one because they're police officers and they get something a little bit different, but damn, they got away with murder. This is one of those cases where I saw no one defending it. Right? So I'm trying to, like, take a step back and say it's the police training, like I was talking about with the Australia thing, and then our rule set, our mindset's different, right? There's guns here. There's crazies that don't have health care here, right? Like, you can start questioning a lot of our systems and our prison population breeds more prisoners and dangerous prisoners, given that they just keep going back to prison and we don't really have a world for them. And then you look at other countries where they don't deal with that. There's questions of that, but this case is just point blank. This guy's a piece of shit. He murdered somebody, But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I thought this was one of those slam dunks, But in the same time, I know in Phoenix there was that man killed at the Gila River Casino, I believe. He was sitting on his knees crying, and the police shot him. They were giving him contradictory information. Now, I don't believe those police officers ever saw jail time. And if they did, that seems like well, no shit. They gave him contradictory rules. He's here and get up, get down, go over here, go left, go right. He does it, gets shot. That's not on him, right? So those people should be in jail. But would you be surprised if I said that they didn't go to jail? Or would you be like, well, it's just the system? That's the world we live in. And that's disgusting that police officers can walk free. And I think it's because we realized how hard the job is. It's a terrible job given the circumstances that I just listed. The gun control, the mental health, the poverty, the prisoners. The stuff that we have in the U.S. that is very unique to us, that breeds this dangerous environment. You have a very dangerous, enforcement. And so, you look at them with like a grain of salt, but then you also have to have some fucking cojones and say like, no, you did something wrong. You should go to jail. Set some fucking standard, But I don't think we're ever going to get it because a lot of the powerful in our society remain powerful for a reason. So I think I'm very thankful for our police force, but come on, quit dick sucking them. Someone needs to be punished for this, and Ryan Remington should not be walking free, in my opinion. Thank y'all very much. Y'all have a good one, and be safe.